welcomes you to this presentation of the Mark Turgeon Radio Show on the Maryland Sports Radio Network.
This is the Mark Turgeon Radio Show on the Maryland Sports Radio Network.
The Mark Turgeon Radio Show is brought to you by these network broadcast partners.
Capital One Bank, the official bank of places.
Now, live from Buffalo Wild Wings in College Park, here's Mark Turgeon and Johnny Holiday.
And welcome once again to the Mark Turgeon Radio Show. Great to have you with us tonight around the state of Maryland for the next hour. We will talk about Maryland basketball, number 3 team in the nation with an 8-game winning streak after putting away Rutgers last night at Xfinity Center, 88-63. Coach Turgeon alongside grad assistant John Auslander is with us as well this evening. And we'll be going on our telephone line to talk to Evers Burns, who played for the Terrapins back in the late 80s, early 90s, and set up Walt Williams for all those shots that the Wizards would take when he was the leading scorer for Maryland. Evers Burns, leading rebounder at that time. And Coach, last night, Rutgers came in a struggling team to say the very least. He had a 42-point lead in the second half, and you won it by 25 points and had a chance to play a lot of people in that game last night.
Yeah, it's nice to have a game like that, especially with what we have coming up, you know, Saturday, Tuesday on the road, and you know, they're going through it, Rutgers, a little bit. They've lost 3 big guys. The guard play is pretty good. If they could add some post players, they'd have a nice team. But both their post guys picked up 3 fouls in the first half. They had to play 5 guards. They're down to 7 scholarship players. And so it's tough. But I got to give my guys credit. You know, there was a stretch there in the first half. We really guarded for about 10 minutes and really rebounded at a high clip. And, you know, we didn't get caught up in our opponent. We didn't get caught up in the score. We just kept playing and built the lead. You know, built the lead up in the second half without Mello to 42, like you said, and then got to play a lot of guys. I thought it was great. Varone, I thought, had great minutes, played 16. Even Bender got 7 minutes, which was great. Checo played really well for us. He hadn't been playing great. I thought he was very good on the defensive end last night. So a lot of positives and able to rest guys, which we need to do because we've had to play guys a lot of minutes.
You mentioned about Mello. Mello only played 14 minutes last night, took 1 shot, had 4 points at the line, and you took him out because you felt a little tightness. Yeah,
he you know, experienced this last year with hamstring, you know, lower back, whatever it was, and so it lasted about 3 or 4 games. This year we're more aware of it. You know, he's better today. You know, if we played tonight, he probably wouldn't have played. Would be my guess. Hopefully he's better tomorrow. Hopefully we can. Probably won't practice him. If he does, he'll just do some shooting drills, and then we'll get him ready hopefully for Saturday. And that's kind of the thing. So, you know, hopefully by taking care of it, proper stretching, and all the things that we can do to prevent injuries or improve what he has, hopefully we can keep him healthy the rest of the year.
When you looked at the scoring from last night's game, Suleiman with 15 points, and Diamond Stone another double-double, 15 and 10, and Jake Lehman really kind of broke out a little bit with 18 points, but he played a heck of a 4 game as well.
Yeah, Jake's really become a really nice all-around player for us, and you watch kids grow up, and you know they benefit by being here 4 years. And Jake every year has gotten better at something, whether it's, you know, dribbling the ball or shooting the ball or playing defense or rebounding or just having an understanding of the game. His understanding defensively has come so far, and so it's good to see. I'm happy for Jake. I was happy for him to score because people put so much pressure on him to score. We don't need him to score, but he did last night, which was great to see. And he's just having a blast. I had him in my office today, and we just talked, and he's really enjoying it, which seniors should do. They should enjoy it. And I think him and Rashid are really enjoying their senior year.
Diamond Stone, the Big Ten Freshman of the Week and the Player of the Week in the games he played last week.
Yeah, well deserved. Obviously, we don't beat Penn State without him. I felt like Mello should have been co-MVP with him, even though he was 3 for 15 in that game. He set Diamond up a lot with assists and put the ball in the glass. But Diamond went and got some rebounds, and then he stepped up and made those free throws. And it's hard to draw fouls, especially, you know, in today's game. So they're making it more difficult in there, and Diamond drew a lot of fouls. And they followed it up with a good performance at Northwestern against the zone, and you know, it's good. It's well deserved. He's really buying in. He's getting better. he's a work in progress, but the rate he's improving and the confidence growing, he's going to be a heck of a player for us as we go down the league stretch.
Eddie Jordan mentioned last night in his post-game conference about how nice you were. He's been there, you've been there as well, on the other end when you don't have enough firepower to compete with the big guys. And to kind of call off the dogs like you did. And still run the out, because the other guys want to score too.
Yeah.
Guys off the bench want to contribute as well.
Yeah, I think we just tried to, when we switched to zone, and, I don't like zone a lot. And I think we played zone really the last 10 or 11 minutes of the game. And got the little freshman going. He made 4 threes late against it. And it's hard for me to sit over there and give up that many points the way we did the last 6, 7 minutes of the game. But I have been on that other bench many times. I have been down 40 before as a head coach.
Not pleasant, is it?
No, it's no fun. And, their kids were playing hard and trying hard, and hopefully they'll get some bodies back and get healthy. But, we never stopped trying hard. We played. We didn't run it up quite as much, and we tried to execute better. And there was things that we needed to work on.
Sure.
So it was actually good for us to go through it. And I was happy his kids played well late, and hopefully give them a little confidence going into the next game.
Coach, how about your defense? You only give up, Northwestern, you shut them down 20 points in the first half. Rutgers has 18 last night. Defensively, are they getting where you want them to be?
Yeah, we're getting better. I think our first half at Northwestern was much better than it was last night. Our one-on-one defense was good last night. Playing shots was good. And then our rebounding was terrific. They were sending a lot of guys back to take away our fast break, but I thought we dominated, limited them. I think they had 1 offensive rebound at halftime. So it's coming. Transition defense is getting better. There's a lot of things that's getting better. Our communication, our understanding, our awareness, all that stuff's getting better on the defensive end. So it needs to continue to get better for us to get where we want to be.
Every game except one game this year, Dickens has hit at least 1 3. Got a couple last night. He had 10 rebounds, 9 points, and 10 boards.
Yeah, so, and I keep saying it, so we're really working on trying to make these guys more complete basketball players. And Jared is a totally different player, I think, than he was last year. He's better off the dribble, he's better defensively. And then, like you said, the rebounding, and I think he got his hands on a couple shots last night, too.
Yeah.
He is 6'7" and really long, so he should rebound at a high level. So it's good to see when guys aren't scoring the way they want to score to impact the game in another way. And all our guys are kind of buying into that. If they continue to buy into that, they can improve individually. Makes our team better. In the last few games, we've been very good with deflections. I think Jake had 8 deflections last night. Jared had multiple deflections and got his hands on a couple shots. So there's a lot of things that the guys are doing to help our team.
Rashid Suleiman scoring now the last couple of games, like he had a tough time against Penn State, but then he comes back the last 2 games and it was nuts.
Yeah, well, the Northwestern game was really special. I mean, first half we weren't really clicking at times, and he stepped up and made some big shots down there. His defense has always been good. His defense in both those first 2 games was terrific. Last night he didn't have to be as good defensively, but he was still solid. It's good to see him making shots because he can score the ball, and he was a scorer coming out of high school. He gives up his game, but he's still assisting well and making plays for other people. He's really good against the zone and getting shots for other people. So he's been great. Just got to continue to grow as a team and our chemistry and getting everybody used to each other, and that continues to get better.
Coach, you've talked a lot about it's a long season. The Big Ten is a very, very tough conference, and it's the first time since that national championship year you've started off, or Maryland started off with 3 consecutive conference wins, and that's pretty good.
It is good. It's hard to win.
I know.
Well, we're lucky we had 2 of them at home, so that helps. And then played well against Northwestern. So, that wasn't our goal, obviously, to be 3-0 in the league. So we're not going to talk about that one much and move on.
Or the ranking.
No, not going to talk about
ranking.
that. And we'll dial into Wisconsin and try to play well there.
Our conversation about the Rutgers game last night brought to you by Toyota, where we can always go places. We'll take a break. We'll come back with more of the Mark Turgeon Radio Show. We're at Buffalo Wild Wings in College Park on the Terrapin Sports Radio Network.
Turgeon Radio Show is brought to you by these network broadcast partners.
Capital One Bank, the official bank of Maryland Athletics, and by Toyota. Let's go places.
Now, once again, live from Buffalo Wild Wings in College Park, here's Mark Turgeon and Johnny Holiday.
And the Terrapins now at 14-1, 3-0 in the Big Ten Conference, ranked third in the nation, 8-game winning streak at home, getting set to hit the road tomorrow and take on Wisconsin on Saturday afternoon, and Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time from Madison, Wisconsin. One of our special guests tonight, brought to you by Capital One Bank. That's the official bank of Maryland Athletics. It's somebody that I know means, excuse me, Coach, an awful lot to you, because without grad assistance, it'd be a much tougher job, and John's one of the best. John Auslander.
Yeah, John's been terrific, and you get an opportunity, and you either take advantage of it or you don't. And John's taking full advantage of it, and wanted to get a master's, but also learn and get and grow and get better. And he's done everything I've asked, and at his age, he can handle. He's probably doing 70-hour weeks, maybe more. He's putting in a lot of time. It's part of the business, but he's doing a great job. He's making our program better.
And John, what you did as a player, and you probably can't put a price tag on how valuable you were when you played at the University of Maryland. And I think we asked you, I guess in probably your first year here, ever think about coaching, because you seem to have a certain knack and grasp of the game, even as a player.
Yeah, I wasn't blessed with a lot of talent, so I had to, make up for it with other things. I knew how to play because of it, how to play angles, be in the right spot, and ever since I was 10, 11, I remember watching games and, watching the coaches, and I always, wanted to help others get better, but I had a great feel for the game, I love, helping others and trying to teach, and I get an opportunity to do that now, and help coach in any way I can. And I'm lucky that, I'm working for somebody that I played for, so there's a certain trust level there that helps, rather than going to a place and, having to earn that respect. So I'm lucky in that aspect as well.
Could you see Coach in John as a player?
Oh, yeah.
Coaching in the future?
Yeah,
he was right. He was short on talent, but he was good. He was good from the neck up, and he's always had a feel for it. He loves it. It's a passion, and usually a coach, you can't help yourself. It's just who you are. It's the way you're wired. He's got great leadership skills, and so he's on his way. It's just what path he's going to choose from here is really the next step for him, and make it harder and harder for young people to get in. We do, I wouldn't say favors, but it helps us. But we get them through grad school. We help pay for that, and there used to be a lot of opportunities for young men to stay in coaching and hang around. So it's a big year for John to see where he's going to go from here. But he's been great for us.
And John, to get to Maryland, you took a longer route. You went down to Greensboro first, then you came back to Maryland.
Yeah,
as a player.
Originally went to a D3 school in North Carolina, but I knew I wanted to get into coaching. I wanted to be closer to home. Be able to see my brother, who was in high school at the time, play. So being, both my parents went to Maryland, and I knew I had an opportunity, much better opportunity to get into coaching if I was at the University of Maryland at a D1 school, and walking on there opened up a lot of doors for me.
When you talk about walking on, what was the scenario of walking on this team? Did somebody tell Coach Turgeon, hey, look at this guy?
So my first year was with Coach Williams. The summer before, when I decided to transfer from the school, Greensboro College in North Carolina, I was looking at a couple other D3 schools. My AAU coach calls me up and tells me there's pickup at 5 p.m. at Xfinity Center, Comcast then. Tells 2 hours beforehand, I jump right in the car and go to the pickup for 2 weeks. I showed up, didn't get in a single game. Finally started to play a little bit, and then just tried to find any way I could to get my foot in the door and be a part of the team. I ended up getting added late in November because of an injury by Coach Williams, and then Coach Turgeon was nice enough to keep me around.
When we talk about grad assistants, as Coach Turgeon just mentioned, there are a myriad of things you guys have to do. I mean, it's not just keeping charts of shots and things like that. Go through a little bit of some of the duties you had as a grad assistant.
You might have to take a commercial, John.
We'll be off at 8 o'clock.
I mean, you really, any little thing that comes up, you got to be ready for it. Anybody on staff, if they need something, you're available to do it. Helping with the players is a big thing. Coach has, me living in the dorms. I can help out with little things that they need. Help look after them. Whether it's helping with cutting film, helping rebound for an assistant coach. The list goes on and on.
And the hours are endless, aren't they?
Yeah, with class and everything, so I have classes from 7 to 10 p.m. at night. You get in the morning, especially when school's in session, 7 a.m., and then you go straight from practice to class. The hours will add up over time. But I get to do something I love every day,
sure,
which not everybody gets to do.
You're right.
So, that keeps me going. I don't, the hours, you don't really notice them when you get to do something you enjoy doing.
We're going to continue the Mark Turgeon Radio Show with grad assistant John Auslander. Maryland basketball talk until 8 o'clock tonight, right here on the Terrapin Sports Network.
Turgeon and Johnny Holiday.
And one of our special guests tonight is John Auslander. John, I know how proud you are not only to play at Maryland, to graduate from Maryland, but also to have your brother Kent on the team. A freshman, played the same high school you played at out in Herndon.
Yeah, I'm extremely proud of him and happy for him. Just like me, it was his dream to play here growing up. And I always told him, if somebody told me he could play at Maryland, but I had to be done, that I would do it in a heartbeat, because he's a lot more talented than me. He's a great kid. I wanted him to, so I'm happy he gets the opportunity to be a part of a group like this too. Great group of guys, good team. I'm happy for him.
Nice brother combination, right, Coach?
Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
Kent's a hard worker, and John's a lot harder on him than I am. I tell John, you got to get off your brother a little bit, let him breathe. He's not going to do everything right. There's a lot on Kent's plate. I think I'm teaching him 3 positions. And he's got to learn all our plays plus every scout team play. So his mind gets a lot in there. But he's terrific, and it's good for John to be around his brother every day and have a big influence on his life.
And John, last night's game against Rutgers, an opportunity, we mentioned the coach, to get Jalen Brantley playing time, and Bender and Terrell and your brother and Varun Ram, guys coming off the bench. And that's always good to see.
Yeah, guys, all those guys names you just mentioned, they all work extremely hard in practice. So it's great, especially for the walk-ons to get an opportunity to play, and then for guys like Jalen Brantley, who we're going to need to step up down the road.
Yes.
Checo, even Bender, who's been practicing really well. So it's great for him to get that opportunity and just to get that experience, because it's going to help them down the road. They improve through that, and then they can step up. When there's foul trouble, in big moments in future games in the Big Ten. So it's great to see them all get out there.
When a team is 14-1, everybody has their own opinion about why this team is so good, what potential this team has as the season rolls along. What do you see from your vantage point?
It's a talented group. They all really truly care about each other, which is extremely important. So they play hard for each other. They share the ball because of that, great chemistry that they have. At this point, as Coach already said it, we're starting, we have 3 new guys that are playing a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
We're starting to gel as a group, and guys are starting to figure out how to play with each other. We're starting to guard at a higher level. At Northwestern, we were really dialed in to what they were doing offensively, and we really flew around. So I think we still have a lot we can improve on, which is a good thing at this time.
I think to be able to play for Coach Turgeon, if I was a kid coming in, the first thing I'm thinking about, I better play defense.
Yeah.
These guys buy into it, don't they?
Yeah. We've came a long way. I think at Diamond and where he was a couple months ago defensively, he's really starting to learn how to, guard. It's so different going from high school to college, where you got different ball screen coverages. we talk about white line, jumping to the ball, seeing both, and he's come a long way. Jalen Brantley's came a long way. Our bigs, we put a lot of pressure on them, to guard on the perimeter with everybody playing small and us staying big. So, we got Checo chasing guards around last night,
Sure, yeah.
doing a good job of using his length. DeMonte, same thing. So the guys are starting to take pride in it. I think they know that for us to accomplish what we want, they got to defend at a high level.
And I think also you being this close to the game, having played here only a couple of years ago, they can relate to what you went through. You've been through the wars yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I played for Coach for 3 years. I have a decent idea of what he wants out of everybody.
Yeah.
So sometimes if defensively maybe they're confused about something, I can go talk with them, off to the side, or offer a little bit of encouragement, and just try to reiterate Coach's message any way I can.
It's good to have around, and as our program grows and you have former players around or guys in your program for a long time, it just helps you grow, and the experience is really what's important. And we have a lot of experience around guys that have been around me now for 4 or 5 years, and it's showing in the way we're playing, the way our program's growing.
Looks awfully good, John, on that resume to be working alongside Coach Turgeon here in Maryland.
Oh yeah, no, I'm so lucky that I get to work for Coach. He's a great guy to be around every day. He gives me freedom to do certain things that other GAs might not get. So I'm just lucky to be a part.
Sometimes he says you're going to the radio show too.
Had no choice.
No choice. Hey John, thank you, my friend. Continued success to you, and I want you to know how much everybody appreciates all you do at Maryland. Let's hope your brother continues to get better and better and learn from what you learned from, and get a lot of minutes as the year goes along.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
Okay,
Thanks,
John. We'll take a break, and Coach and I will come back. We'll continue with the Mark Turgeon Radio Show. We'll go back in time and talk to Evers Burns after a couple of messages on the Terrapin Sports Radio Network. And welcome back to the Mark Turgeon Radio Show. Great to have you with us tonight as the Terrapins get set to go to Wisconsin for a game on Saturday afternoon. Back home after that game, one day back in College Park, then head off to Michigan for a game at 9 o'clock on Tuesday. One of our special guests tonight is Evers Burns. Evers on the telephone. Evers, how you doing? Let's punch up Evers if you can, and bring him in.
Hey, sir.
How you doing, Evers?
I'm doing well. How are you, Johnny?
Well, Coach and I are doing just great, and thank you very much for giving us some time tonight. We remember well when you came in from Baltimore and Woodlawn High School, and I know, Coach, how much you like to recruit up there in Baltimore.
Yes. Evers, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing well, Coach. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for coming on, and it's great to have former players on, and I know you've been around, and Coach Bino, being a Baltimore guy, just brags about you all the time. What a great player you were, and one of the sneaky great ones to come from Baltimore.
Yeah, come from Baltimore County, playing against Bino in the city. He's a little younger than I am. Yeah, we got our bump in.
Yeah, no doubt.
1989 to 1993, Evers played for the Terrapins. Number 24 all-time scorer with 1,315 points. He averaged 11 points a game and had over 600 career rebounds at Maryland. 7th all-time in offensive rebounds, and a guy that knew exactly what his role was every time he went out there on the floor to set up Walt Williams.
Oh, that was it. We were called the Walt Williams and the 4 Heartbeats.
Yeah. What are some of the best memories you have of playing at Maryland, Evers?
Cole Fieldhouse is just come running out of the tunnel, and you get the same feeling out of Xfinity Center. But when you run out of the tunnel and you hear those 15,000 screaming, there was no other feeling.
What made you want to come? Had you always wanted to come to College Park?
Yeah, my brother got recruited for football there, and we went to a game, and ironically enough, they were playing Boston College, and I think Gary Williams was coaching that game. And I must have been, 5th or 6th grade, and I was watching Adrian Branch and Lynn Vines. And ever since then, I fell in love with Maryland. And then when I realized that my cousin, Lenny Elmore, went there, it was a no-brainer for me. I always said that if they ever recruited me, I would come.
Well,
yeah, I love that. It's great when guys grow up Maryland fans, and like Melo Trimble, one of the, has a chance to be one of the greatest players to ever play at Maryland, and he would have walked here. There wasn't a lot of recruiting involved in that, and so it's great. And the more successful we can be, and more stories like yours helps us keep kids home and be a part of a great basketball tradition.
Yeah, being a part of Maryland tradition is just it's great, and we're all family. We still keep in contact. The team that I played on, especially my junior year, and we still keep in contact, and we're Turks for life.
let me just see if I can dig up some names off the top of my head that you played with, like Gerard Mustaf was on your team, and I think Cedric Lewis was on your team, and Garfield Smith, maybe Matt Rowe, and Chris Kerwin, Kevin McClinton. How about Vince Broadnax, and this is off the top of my head now, Wayne Bristol and Frank Horton, and of course Curtis Schultz.
All of them are my brothers, and we're Terps for life, we're die-hard family, and it's funny that you talk about the chemistry of this team, and you see when you have guys that you're going in the trenches with, and you're willing to do whatever it takes to win with those guys, it shows on the court, it was the same way with us, especially my junior year. Our record didn't show the closeness that we had, but we played and we fought as a family, and that's what basketball is about.
Was your junior year 1991 or 92?
92.
92. That's when you led the team in field goal percentage, 51%, and leading rebounder as well.
Well, that's easy when you're getting rebounds from walk shots because you have 4 shots from him.
I knew that was coming. And then, Evers, you go on, you become an NBA player with the Sacramento Kings, got drafted in the 2nd round, 31st player overall in that 1993 NBA draft. Didn't play a lot of games for the Kings, but still continued to play professionally until when? What'd you be talking about, 2000 or so?
Yeah, I finished that in 2000. I got a CBA championship. I played overseas. I played in Spain, Italy, Greece. I'm well traveled.
Wow, that's great.
Which I love. I was never afraid to get on an airplane. So, and I got to see and have a job that took me all over the world, in places where I would have probably never seen unless I would have played basketball.
Yeah, Evers, which was your favorite country that you played in?
Australia.
Australia, yeah. Fantastic.
Australia,
Where were you over there?
Sydney King.
Sydney.
1998. Yeah, I played for Sydney King.
Yeah.
And a funny story. Dave Simmons was my teammate. The father of the Simmons down in LSU. So.
Oh wow! How about that? Vince dad. Wow, fantastic. Well, we should have got him here then.
Hey, if I would have known, I didn't even know until they showed us picture.
Wow, how about that? How about that? Yeah, Sydney Kings is the powerhouse over there in Australia, no doubt. Yeah.
Bring us up to date. What are you doing now? I know you're working for the Baltimore Parks and Recreation, but something else besides that.
Yes, I'm in the ministry now. I just got licensed in October 3rd. I preached my initial sermon, and I tell you how close our team is. Walton and Wayne Bristol came to my initial sermon, and it's just, we are a family, and it's been a blessing for me.
That's terrific. That is, and your mom and dad, they're doing well?
They're doing well, and I'll be sure to tell them that you asked about them.
Yeah, please do. They're wonderful people. Evers, thank you very much. We're going to look forward to seeing you at a game sometime. Absolutely. Come out and see this team in person.
Oh yeah. And I just want to say that, Coach Turgeon, and I told you in your office, I'm so proud of you, man. Your humbleness, as well as just how you're growing these young men up and just showing them the right way, and there's no egos involved, and I just really, really appreciate that. And you're a big fan. I'm a big fan of yours, sir.
I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on the show, Evers. We'll see you down the road.
Okay, Evers Burns. Evers, thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye now.
You bet. We'll continue with the Mark Turgeon Radio Show after a couple of messages on the Terrapin Sports Radio Network.
Places.
Now, once again, live from Buffalo Wild Wings in College Park, here's Mark Turgeon and Johnny Holiday.
And time to get some emails for Coach Turgeon. Very simply, if you'd like to fire up an email to Maryland's head basketball coach, go to umterps.com, click on the Ask Coach Turgeon button. It's all brought to you by the University of Maryland Medical Center. First up from Chris Shankman in Upper Marlboro. Coach, how's the team grown in your eyes throughout the season thus far?
Well, I think chemistry-wise we continue to grow and get to know each other, and I think lately we've really improved defensively, and rebounding and transition defense has been big for us. You know, our next growth, our next step is really getting better in our half-court offense when the game's on the line. We haven't had a lot of close games, and we're going to have a lot of them coming up in the Big Ten. So we've had growth. When you're around it so closely every day, you don't see it quite as much, but defense is probably where we've grown the most.
Up in Rockville, Charlie Rosenfield with an email. What surprised you most about coaching this team during this season?
Just how well the guys get along and how much fun they are to coach. You know, they've checked their egos at the door. They put the team first. It's been a really fun team to coach, and you know, our habits are getting better and all that kind of stuff. But just being around them every day is fun, and that makes day-to-day life pretty good, Johnny.
And maybe over the last 18 years of coaching at this level, you may have had teams that didn't have that kind of chemistry.
No, every year is different.
Sure.
And, you know, last year's team was really special and close, and this one's, you know, right there with it. And a lot more pressure on this team, but our guys are handling it really well right now.
Another email from Bill Abbott in D.C. How do you plan to handle the rotation as we get to Big Ten play? Will you tighten up the minutes for the players or play a deeper rotation to get guys more experience, more playing time?
It all depends on the situation. You know, we've got Wisconsin Saturday. They stay big. They play a big lineup, so we can stay big, which is great for our big guys. Last night they played small, but we stayed big. We were able to do it because we had a big lead. You know, some games we'll tighten the rotation, some games we won't. We tightened it at Northwestern. Some games we won't do that. So it all depends on the game, who we're playing, how we match up, and the flow of the game.
One from Rick LeVerrier at Kensington, Maryland. Have you changed your coaching philosophy anyway over the years?
Well, obviously, you get a lot better. You think you know everything when you're 33 and you get your first job, and you really don't. You become a better coach. I think my values are the same, and what I want out of my players and out of my team and all that kind of stuff. But I think I've become a better coach, and hopefully we'll continue to become a better coach as years go on.
And a final one, Coach, from Brian Gibbs in Cambridge, Maryland. We saw Diamond Stone have a stellar performance against Penn State. How important was it for him to have a great game like that to open up conference play?
Well, thank God he did, or we wouldn't have won that game. So
39 helps.
Yeah, it was big for us. So it was great. I think it kind of put him on the map. You know, it's been great for Diamond. We're bringing him off the bench. It's taken even more pressure. There hasn't been a lot of pressure on this kid. He can just relax and play because Mello takes it, Sheik takes it, Robert takes it, Jake takes a lot of the heat. So it's been really good for him. It's one of the reasons he chose us. Be around great players and not have the pressure that first year. So it's been great. Continues to grow. We're changing his practice habits, which is a fight every day. But he's getting better, and you know, we're just continue to help him grow. But that was a tremendous game. And, you know, I don't know if he'll get 39 again, but I imagine he's gonna have a lot of big games for us.
We welcome your emails to Coach Turgeon. Go to umterps.com. Click on the Ask Coach Turgeon button, brought to you by the University of Maryland Medical Center. Terrapins' next opponent at Wisconsin. They are 7-4. Wisconsin 7-4 at home, 9-7 overall, 1-2 in conference play. We'll talk about the Badgers when we come back on the Terrapin Sports Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Mark Turgeon Radio Show on the Maryland Sports Radio Network.
The Mark Turgeon Radio Show is brought to you by these network broadcast partners.
Capital One Bank, the official bank of Maryland Athletics, and by Toyota. Let's go places.
Now, once again, live from Buffalo Wild Wings at College Park, here's Mark Turgeon and Johnny Holiday.
Now we look ahead to the Wisconsin game, brought to you by Miller Coors Coal Hard Facts. Coors Brew Brewing Company, remember 21 means 21. Upcoming game against the Badgers. They lead the all-time series with Maryland 5-2, but we all remember last February 24th, the Terrapins knocking off Wisconsin here 59-53 in a tremendous basketball game.
Yeah, it was a fun night, and we beat a great battle. Could have been a national championship team. They were really close in that championship game. Very special team with a great coach who's obviously retired since, and just great players. So it was a fun night, great night for Maryland basketball.
A different Wisconsin team now because gone is Kaminsky, gone is Gasser, gone is Sam Decker. It's a younger team. They lost 5 of the top 7 scorers from last year.
Yeah, and they're finding themselves. They're actually playing better. The last 3 games, they're 1-2 in the league, but they had a chance to beat Purdue at home, and they were up 9 against Indiana at Indiana. So they're doing some nice things. They're young, and Hayes is a terrific player. My mind's gone blank. 24, terrific player, the point guard. Bryce.
That'd be
Caney, terrific player.
Bronson Caney.
Yeah, terrific player. And they have a bunch of young guys playing. And Hap, redshirt freshman, big kid's going to be a terrific player for them. So, it's going to be a fun night, a good afternoon, hopefully, and expect a great crowd from Wisconsin. This will be my first time to Madison, first time to Wisconsin, so we're looking forward to it.
One thing I noticed, Coach, about looking at some of their notes, they've held the Purdue, Temple, Marquette, Indiana to season low in points.
Yeah, they're good defensively, and they play at a pace that they want to play at, and it's hard to get them out of it. And they look the exact same. They have a different coach, they look exactly the same, and they're growing. They're playing more depth now, and they're growing as a team. We're looking forward to a heck of a challenge.
And Bo Ryan left his legacy, 364 wins. All-time winningest coach in this country.
Yeah, he's terrific. And
a good guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, except when he interrupted my press conference.
I remember
that. Besides that, he was a great guy.
I remember
but
that.
A tremendous coach, great for the game, taught it the right way, recruited his type of kids, successful with his type of kids, ran a great system, won at every level. He'll be in the Hall of Fame. Hasn't gotten in yet, but he'll be in the Hall of Fame, Basketball Hall of Fame. He deserves it. A great basketball coach, and just did a great job with that program.
Well, the Terrapins against Wisconsin will be on the air beginning at 12:30 on Saturday afternoon as Maryland goes for their 15th win of the year. Coach, thanks. Always nice to be with you.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. Good show tonight.
Oh, great show. Yes, sir. Of course, you brought the guest, John Auslander, around. So. And Evers too, up in Baltimore. Thank you. Tom Marquito's been alongside our technical director.